Rumors are that allegedly Kandi's estate planning is much worse than what we saw on television. How bad is it? Well, I have some new behind the scene information that may answer that question and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly Kandi's estate planning is going much worse than what we saw on television. How bad is it? Well, I have some new behind the scenes information that may answer that question and more. And here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly Kandi's estate planning is worse than what we saw this season on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sources say that the estate planning is a very serious matter for Kandi. She knows that as a person with as much success and assets that she has, how important it is to leave her family well taken care of. Other insiders say that the road to completing her estate planning has not been easy, and it has been much worse than what we saw on TV. The source continued, "I don't think people understand how much Mama Joyce doesn't trust Todd. She loves him as a son-in-law. However, when it comes to Kandi and her business, it's like a light switch turns off, and Todd literally becomes a stranger in the streets to her." Which, the source added, is all very unfortunate for Kandi. So, in knowing this, will Kandi take Mama Joyce's side and advice in her estate planning? Well, sources say unless Kandi wants to see her marriage end, then the best thing for her to do is to find a happy medium that her mom and Todd can both agree with. Another industry insider said, "It's like Kandi is living in a fairy tale land when it comes to her marriage and her mother issues." The source also acknowledges that Kandi has to play a more active role in maintaining peace between her mom and Todd if she ever wants to complete her estate planning. All sources agree that trust from both sides is the big issue at play. So what's causing it? One person close to the situation who wished to remain anonymous had this to say: "Most of Mama Joyce's issues are that she's old school. She's been around a long time, and she has seen the best and the worst in men, and feel as if Todd may be the same way. However, times have changed," said the source. "Todd is a Renaissance man, which is a type of man that Mama Joyce is very unfamiliar with. So, quite naturally, she shuns things and even people she doesn't understand or can't figure out. Many people believe that Mama Joyce puts Kandi and her marriage in a very awkward position every time she sees Todd as the enemy, whether it's unintentional or not. Sources say that something has to change if Kandi is serious about getting her estate planning completed. Some sources say that Kandi will have to do something that she hasn't done with her mother in a long time, and that's put her foot down." Now, kinfolk, this is a lot. And I say it's a lot because just sitting here and reading all the things my sources have been telling me, it seems a lot for me, so I know it's a lot for Kandi. But here's my biggest issue that I have with all of this estate planning. And it's my biggest issue that I have with Mama Joyce. And it's this. Mama Joyce has to realize that Todd is family. After almost 10 some years, I don't think Mama Joyce really accepts Todd as family. Or if you are to believe my source, she doesn't accept Todd or probably doesn't see Todd as family when it comes to business. It's almost as if Mama Joyce thinks that business bonds are thicker than blood bonds. And that is where a lot of the issues coming from when it comes to her relationship with Todd. Now, I believe my sources when they say that Mama Joyce actually loves Todd as a son-in-law. And we've seen them interact many times on the show. And when they may cut to a scene where they are actually getting along, laughing and talking. And also when it comes to certain decisions pertaining to the restaurant, Mama Joyce sometimes seems to go along with what Todd is suggesting. However, it just seems that whenever Kandi kind of makes it seem as if Todd is actually the one leading, that's where Mama Joyce has a big issue. And so it makes me think about what my sources were saying about what the source of that issue could very well be. And the more I thought about it, I said, you know what? I can actually see why that could be the problem. And that problem is this. Mama Joyce is very old school. And I do believe my sources when they say that she's been around the block and she's seen the best in men and the worst in men. And I think for a second that considering that, Mama Joyce may think that all men that she's had negative experiences with, Todd is the same way. But I just don't think that. Like my sources said, Todd is a Renaissance man. He doesn't mind allowing Kandi to lead. He doesn't mind moving into Kandi's house. When back in the day, that was kind of frowned upon because the man was seen as the head of the household. He should be the one putting Kandi up in $1 million mansion. He should be the one starting the big businesses and having Kandi come work for him. Even though Kandi has her own and has had her own for a long time now, it seems as if Mama Joyce still wants Todd to fall into that traditional image of a man. And the fact that she does not understand that this is a new Renaissance man, that Todd is a person who has his own businesses, his own ideas, but also helps his wife to nurture her ideas and bring her ideas to fruition as well. And then on top of that, he is a man that I think for the most part we can pretty much all agree who has a wife who makes more money than him. And so now you have a person in a situation that Mama Joyce does not understand. A type of situation in a marriage that Mama Joyce has never really experienced or seen anyone else in her age group experience. So quite naturally, I do believe my sources when they say that Mama Joyce's issue may not necessarily be with Todd. It's just that her issue may be with the situation and how Todd and Kandi's marriage is set up in a very unfamiliar way. So she's going to always just shun it and always fight and push back against it because she just simply doesn't understand it. Now, kinfolk, the last part of this rumor and this information that we're getting about how horrible Kandis estate planning is going is this. I have some big issues with Kandi, and I've had for quite a while whenever it comes to Todd, their marriage, and her mom. And it's this. I always said that Kandi was too nonchalant about the issues that are happening between her mom and Todd and their marriage. My source says that it's like she's living in a fairy tale when it comes to her marriage and her mom. And I never quite looked at it like that. I just thought that it was a very nonchalant attitude or a very nonchalant personality. But Kandi has to realize that she has some deep issues that she needs to work out with Todd and Mama Joyce. Because the fact that Mama Joyce doesn't see her kid, Kandi and Todd's children the same way as she sees Riley, it goes to show you that there's a big divide and a big disconnect that Kandi really has to wake up and try to solve. Because at the core of the issue is Kandi and her money. It's Kandi and her success. It's Kandi and her empire. And what she has been working for pretty much all her life, can come tumbling down if she does not figure out how she can bring peace to her kingdom. Now, there is one part of this story that I kind of do agree with Mama Joyce on. However, I don't necessarily agree with Mama Joyce in the terms of why she thinks this, but I agree with Mama Joyce on this one particular issue. I do think that Riley does need to be set up differently from Blaze and Ace. Now, not because of the way Mama Joyce is thinking that Riley was there first, she didn't have a father, and Todd's going to always look after his kids, man, look after Riley. You know, that's not why I think that Riley should be set up differently from Ace and Blaze. I think Riley should be set up differently from Ace and Blaze, where she has her own trust, her own piece of Kandis empire coming in, and her own money that's set aside. Because as she gets older, and as her younger siblings get older, quite naturally they are going to lean on Riley in the unfortunate event something happens to Kandi, to be pretty much the primary caretaker for her younger siblings, even if Todd is there or not. Because they're going to see Riley as the younger person who has pretty much the wherewithal and that younger mindset to understand her siblings better than probably Todd, depending on the age. And quite naturally, she's going to want to be, as a young lady, she's going to be more nurturing towards her younger siblings. And you can see the way she's very protective of Blaze and how she's very protective of Ace. So quite naturally, she's going to step into that motherly role, and she needs her own funds to take care of her siblings outside of what Todd or even Don Juan, who Kandi says she wants to be the executor of state, may want to give her or may think that she deserves to have. So in that aspect, I really do agree with Mama Joyce that Riley does need to be set up differently from her other siblings. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Kandi does have a big issue on her hands, and that she has to solve the issues between her mother and Todd if she ever wants to come to some type of conclusion and end to her estate planning? Or do you think that Kandi needs to continue to play the role of being on the fence and trying to allow Mama Joyce and Todd to figure out their differences on their own? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.